Really good. You already love it, you just don't know it yet. So here they go. Meanwhile, on the stove we have our oil getting hot. I'll test it in just a minute, see if it's where we want it to be. I hope so. Now, an interesting dynamic you're going to notice about that oil is that at first you can have it at the perfect temperature where you want it to be. That is nice and hot but not smoking. I'm going to show you how you can check and see if it's going to do something for you once you put your food in. So, now that we have these all breaded up, let me take you back to the stove over here. Let me wash my paws real quick. Okay. Yes. So, here we have our breaded shrimp. Here we have our oil over here. We're wondering if it's hot enough yet. Let's check. What I do is I just stick my finger under the tap real quick, get a little water on it, then I just kind of flick it into the oil. I'm not hearing anything, so let's go ahead and crank that up, get it where it needs to be. You'll also notice when you drop your foods in there, what it will do is cool the oil down. So you've got to kind of balance the flame and see where you end up with. So, we're talking about vegetarians today. This is a pescatarian vegetarian recipe because we're using fish. Pescatarian vegetarians only eat fish in conjunction with their fruits and vegetables, so on and so forth. Flexitarians are another classification of vegetarians. Flexitarians eat mostly a vegetarian diet, however sometimes they will eat meat. So I'm learning as you learn. It's very interesting. Okay, I think we're where we want to be. Let's go ahead and test it again. Ah yes, you hear that? Action. So what I'm going to do is start dropping these shrimp in here. Now, I've only got a little teeny tiny pan going here, so I'm just cook like 3, 4, maybe 5 at a time. Hear that? Hear that? Of course you do. So we know we're cooking, but we're also wary of the fact that we have our flame wide open. So we want it hot, but we don't want it to be screaming hot. So in just a minute, I'm going to turn that flame back down. Oh yeah, we got lots of action in there. You hear that? Okay. Go ahead and turn that flame down to about a medium. And then look what's waiting in the wings over here. We've got a plate with a paper towel on it. That's going to absorb a lot of that oil that's in there. A lot of oil we don't want to be ingesting. We'll let the paper towel ingest that, okay? Okay. Now shrimp cook very quickly. This will be done in about a minute. Now, getting back to vegetarians. There are vegans out there who do not eat meat of any kind and also do not eat eggs, dairy products, or processed foods containing these or other animal-derived ingredients, such as gelatin. Oh, those are cooking along beautifully. Let's see. We also have the lacto-vegetarians. Those are people who do not eat beef, pork, poultry, fish, shellfish, or other animal flesh of any kind, but will consume dairy products. There are ovo-vegetarians who are very much the same as the lacto-vegetarians, except they're not going to be eating dairy products, but they will eat eggs. So those are just a few of your vegetarian sub-classifications. Now, what I've gotten together for you while those are cooking is a nice little salad to serve it with. You notice the portion size on this, it's not too crazy. What else do you notice about this plate? There's something odd about it. Look at the numbers of your lemons here. You've got 3 lemon wedges, you've got 5 tomato wedges, and I'm about to add 5 shrimp to it. That's the odd part about it. We're using odd numbers. It always looks best in a plate presentation. This is one of the tricks of the pros, where you go out and pay huge money for a simple meal. And what we're trying to do is turn yourselves into pros. So, we're going to put that together, and I'll give you a look at what that's going to do. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and whip this cocktail sauce together. Cocktail sauce is not a real intricate recipe. What I'm going to do is drop in about half a cup of ketchup, and we're going to put in a teaspoon of horseradish. I prefer using the fresh root. It's very, very strong, but use it. I was kind of looking at this product right here. It's got a lot of extra ingredients that concern me a little bit. But anyway, be that as it may. Also, once again, it's a fish type thing. Just going to squeeze about a teaspoon of lemon juice in there. And we're going to whip it up. Alright, that's ready to roll. Looks like our shrimp are about ready to roll too. Now that Kashi breading gave it a nice color. I'm just giving it another minute just to make sure it's ready. Meanwhile, let's drop some of that fresh cocktail sauce into this little ramekin here. Now this is something you see in most restaurants. If you too have roommates with klepto tendencies, grab some of these. Otherwise, I'm sure they can be found. I get a lot of my good stuff from JB Prints. They have a fantastic catalog. It's where I get all of my professional gear. So, I'm just going to fish these out real quick. I'm using the tong. I don't want to dig the tongs into the breading. That will cause it to crack and end up with an ugly food product. So we're just grabbing it by, again, the tail, the handle. And out they come. That paper towel is doing its job. And what I've gone ahead and done is turn off the heat. Now I'm going to turn it back on. I'm just going to have that oil at the very lowest setting, hot and holding for my next series of shrimp that I'll put in there. So, I'm going to go ahead and plate these. We'll get a down shot of it. And I and you will be on your merry way. Hold on, folks. Let me clear out some clutter right here. Now tomorrow, like I mentioned in my post, we'll be working with polenta and wild mushrooms and spinach and toasted pine nuts. We're going to work on another vegetarian subcategory, the vegans. We're going to offer something for those folks too. Now let me give you a shot of this, see what our final product looks like. Careful, folks, this can be a little dizzying. Ah, yes. There it is, team. There's your, again, odd numbers, looking really great on a plate. Odd numbers over even. And that is your Kashi coated breaded shrimp. We'll see you tomorrow, folks.